and girls, this is Mrs. Juan Gravasso, and today we're going to be covering lesson 1.5, dividing integers. Don't forget the setup for our notes. You need to have the lesson number and the title of our lesson, which is dividing integers. Also, don't forget to put the date of our notes. Okay, as a reminder as well, don't forget to jot down everything that you see in this video, including this slide. Okay, so we have here some key ideas we're going to talk about. So since this particular lesson is on dividing, I have some rules that you would need to know. When you are dividing with the same sign, so I have here same sign numbers, I have a positive divided by a positive, and I have here a negative divided by a negative. Same signs give you positive answers. So do you notice our answers in both are positive? Now, if you have a division problem with different signs, so one is a positive, one's a negative, one's a negative, one's a positive, you will have an answer that is a negative. Notice this is a -4, -4. Okay, if you don't want to copy down the key ideas from this part right here of the notes, you may copy down this. If it looks familiar, it did come from our last lesson, which is on multiplication. And if you guessed it, and you're looking at it, yes, division and multiplication is or does follow the same rules. So if you look here, it says here, same signs, positive answer. You have a positive divided by a positive, you get a positive answer. You have a negative divided by a negative, you get a positive answer. Same signs in division gives you a positive answer, just like multiplication. Now, for different signs, you will get a negative answer. So if you have a positive divided by a negative, or a negative divided by a positive, notice the answers are negative. Again, multiplication and division, they have the same rules. So if you're looking at this thinking to yourself, this looks like the last lesson we did and the rules, because it's the same rules. So if you have the last rule memorized, it's the same rules we're going to use today, except today we're going to divide. So let's go ahead and start with an example. So I have here example 1. It says 18 divided by 6. So what I'm going to need to do is know what 18 divided by 6. Now, for those of you who don't know or are not comfortable with dividing across, you can always do first number in, second number out. And then go ahead and divide that. 6 goes into 18 how many times? 3. Now, all you need to do is figure out what signs they have. They have the same signs. So if they have the same signs for division, the answer is going to be positive. So the answer is positive 3. Again, if you don't remember your rules for multiplication and division, please study it. Okay, so here are the rules one more time. All right, let's go ahead and go to example 2. In example 2, we have 2 examples. It says here 75 divided by -25. That's different signs, so that's going to be one is a positive and one's a negative. Same thing over here. One's a negative and one's a positive. Now again, if you're not comfortable with dividing numbers across this way, you can always go first number in and second number out. Now when we're dealing with quarters or 25, I usually think about quarters. How many quarters fit in here to make 75? And if you guess 3, you are correct. Now I need to know the rules for my division with integers. Well, I know they have different signs, then I'm going to have a negative answer. So my answer is -3. Okay, going over to here. If we have different signs, I know my answer is going to be a negative. So all I need to do is figure out what 54 divided by 6 is, and I know 54 divided by 6 is 9. So my answer is 9, but since they have different signs, my answer is -9. Again, multiplication, division are the easiest rules you can, to follow versus subtraction and addition, and they are the same. Division and multiplication, they are the same rules. All right. What I'd like for you to do now is go ahead and take out a piece of paper, and if you can do the following problems 1 through 6 for me on a separate sheet of paper, and then we'll check this tomorrow. Again, if you need more time, feel free to pause the video and stop it and replay it again on what you need. Okay, now for example 3, we are going to evaluate. Now, oftentimes I get students asking me, what does evaluate mean? Evaluate means to solve for this problem. So it says here, 10 minus, and that's an x squared, sorry about that, x squared divided by y will give me what? So what I notice is they did give me a key. So notice there's a key here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 8 every time I see an x. I'm going to put an 8 here, and then that means squared, and I'll bring down to the divide. And anytime I see a y, I'm going to put a -4. Then I'm going to put 10 in the front, just bring it down. I don't do anything with it. And then let's go ahead and solve this problem. So to solve this problem, I have to go with my order of operations. In order of operations, we're going to do parentheses, but I don't see any parentheses right now. So we're going to do e next, which is exponent. So I do notice an exponent here. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that. And that basically means 8 times 8. So 8 times 8, because 8 squared is 8 times 8. And what did we get? 64. Remember, we just bring down the sign. So that's a negative, and then bring down the 10. And then divide it by -4. Okay, now in PEMDAS it says for order of operations, the next thing we're going to do, see parentheses, exponent is multiplication or division. Well, since we don't have any multiplication, but we do have division, I notice division is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and divide that. So we're going to ask ourselves, what is 64 into 4? Well, 64 divided by 4, if you're not sure, 64 divided by 4 is going to give me 16. So since I have 16 here, I'm going to go ahead and put 16, but now I need to decide on the sign. Well, if this is a negative 64 and this is a negative 4, my answer is going to be 16 right here. Now, if I have 16 here, what kind of 16 is this? We're going to say this is a positive 16, so I need to put positive in the front, because a negative divided by negative is a positive. And then I'm going to bring down this 10, and all we need to do is combine 10 into 16, which will give us a total of 26. Now, if this seemed a little complicated and you didn't understand this exact problem, go ahead and pause it, replay it again, and watch this example again. Okay? All right. Now, I would like for you to continue on with your homework on the homework paper you started earlier with on a separate sheet of paper. Continue with the problem 7, 8, and 9. And just to let you know, this B means B times 2. Okay? All right, our last example we have is a real life scenario. So it says here, you measure the height of the tide using the support beams of the pier. Now, your measurements are shown in the picture, so you measure them. What is the mean hourly change in the height? So we want to know, what did the support beams change by for every hour of the day. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this equation formula we have here. So to find the hourly change, it says you need to know what the final height is. So to figure out what the final height is, I need to know, look at the picture and the information they gave us. It says here, it seems like it started off at 2 p.m. at 59, and then at 8 p.m. It's now at 8 inches. So our final height was 8. And then it says here to subtract it by the initial height. Well, what did we start it with in the early afternoon? We started at 59 inches, so we're going to put 59. And we need to know from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. how many hours has passed. So that's what elapsed times mean. So 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. is 6 hours that has passed. So to find the hourly change, we would take 8 minus 59, which would be -51. Now, how I got that is I did keep flip change. So I'll do this on the side. Keep flip, and 59 becomes -59. And I'm going to look to see if the signs are the same. Signs are different, so I'm going to subtract and carry the sign of the larger number. So all I forgot here was the -51. So you will get a -51 on that side. So let me make that darker. Oops, -51, negative. And then that's going to be over 6. Now all I need to do is divide -51 into 6. And once I do that, if I don't remember or I can't do it in my head, I'm going to do 51, top goes in, bottom goes out. And the answer happens to be 8.5. So I'm going to put 8.5 right here, but I noticed that a negative divided by a positive will always give me a negative answer. So all I need to do is include a negative right here, and my final answer is going to be -8.5. So the hourly change every hour, it went down by 8.5 inches each day. All right. That was the last example. Now I would like for you to try our very last on your own question on the same homework paper that you've been doing. Go ahead and try number 10. And as a reminder, if there's anything that you didn't understand in this video, feel free to pause it, play again over and over until you or as many times as you need. Okay? All right. Finally, exit ticket. Please remember to always do your exit ticket. Very, very important. It is part of your homework that is on the on your own page. So please complete this one. We'll talk about this tomorrow. And here's your reminder slide to let you know what you need for tomorrow. Your video notes needs to be completed in your notebook, and the on your own on a separate sheet of paper, and the exit ticket on the same page as your on your own. Okay, please complete that, and then we will talk about your questions tomorrow. Have a great day.